Hi, if you need any hearing aids, please make sure you're wearing headphones. Welcome to today's session. It's great to be here. Great to see so many beautiful faces here in the room and good turnout. So today we're talking about thriving community, the secret to building a thriving community and a loyal customer base. So in this room, I want to find out if you, ladies and gentlemen, are perhaps business owners or publishers. So if you're a business owner, would you raise a hand for me? Okay, and how many of you are publishers here in this room? Fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to spending these 45 minutes with you here today. It should be practical. I'm looking forward to engaging with you a little bit and sharing a little bit about my journey of creating a global community and how to create a thriving community for your business or your publishing. So let's get started. Who's ready? So a little bit about the purpose. Why are we here? Why are we talking about the community? And what is the purpose of having community? So for me, I started my business creating a community 5-6 years ago. And today we have more than 600,000 followers across the world and really loyal community. I host events, I create community-based projects, and my business, at the heart of everything we do, is community. So the premise of it is really to build a loyal tribe of people, because more and more in today's world, people are just feeling disconnected. A business, I mean, how many people really care about the businesses that you deal with on a daily basis? Do we connect with them? Do we really care about the products and services are we buying? But are these organizations actually bringing us closer to their purpose and their mission, and why should we care? So at the heart of everything we do at Women Thrive Media is creating and fostering communities, and we manage to do that on a global scale. So today we're talking about the purpose of it. What is the cause, what's the purpose, and what's your mission? I like to drive my business with a mission and a purpose. And for me, the purpose of why we exist, I built a community and a stage to bring women voices to forefront, to be able to spotlight, especially female entrepreneurs in this space, because when I started out, I believed that there weren't enough outlets to spotlight women, especially in entrepreneurship. So for me, that's the reason why I've created a community that we have today, and to, of course, to build a loyal customer base. Because when people believe in your mission and they follow what it is that you do and why, they want to be part of it. They believe in your purpose and their mission, and they want to champion it. So today, a little bit about myself. I'm a best-selling author. Just this week, we published a Women Thrive book, which is our first volume of a co-authored book. I have been in business for 15 years. And online marketing for 10. So in the last 5 years, we created a highly engaged community of 600,000 followers, and we host annual event, which is one of the biggest women empowerment events called Women Thrive Summit that happens every March. So for the ladies here in the room today, I want to say Happy Women's History Month. I take a huge pride in leading my community and leading other women in women empowerment, coming together and really having a voice in today's society, in today's communities, and really making a difference. Because for me, I think if you're doing something purposeful, if you have a mission and purpose, we need to amplify the voices of those who are doing amazing things. And I believe in your purpose, in your mission, in your publishing businesses, you also have a reason why you're amplifying message of other people or your own. So I invite you to actually ask yourself, what is the purpose of your mission? What is the purpose of your publishing organization? Of what voices do you want to amplify and why? So over the years, I have become an influential voice in the coaching industry, and many of the followers and people that we connect with follow my guidance and support. I don't officially call myself a coach, but they call me that. Yes, I've done over 500 hours of speaking over the years, of hosting many events and doing a lot of speaking engagements. I was trained by Mr. Les Brown. If anybody knows Mr. Les Brown in the room, let me know. And all of my businesses and ventures in the last 15 years has been self-funded. So just a little bit about my background. And of course, if you want to connect, we have our magazine and the summit information here. So why does it matter? Why should we even be talking about it? What's a community? So for me, having a community and having people coming close to your business and being part of your mission is being ahead of the curve, being ahead of innovation. Because if you have your followers, if you have your community coming close to your business, they help you innovate. They help you see the opportunities in the industry that perhaps you're not seeing right now. So staying relevant and competitive, because more and more in this space, it's very competitive, right? And I'm not just meaning competitive as in your own industry or your own topic. It's more competitive with the noise out there. More and more people tuning out of the media. They are following news. They're not following news. They're following their social media influencers. They're following influential voices. They're reading books. So when I mean competition, there is so much more competition than we actually realize today. So you want to bring your audience closer to your brand so they believe and they follow what it is that you do. And this is what we have been able to do successfully. So if you only see yourself as a broadcaster of news and information, if you do not care about what your readers have to say, and if you do not wish to embrace a two-way communication with the people that you serve and the space that you create for them, then you're probably in the wrong room today. So if you're only interested in a one-way communication, then perhaps this conversation here today is not the one to be had. So it starts with you and your belief system of bringing people together. Why do we have all this room packed here today? What are we all craving for? For me, it's connection. I could be sat, currently I live in Spain. I could be sat in my office in Spain and do things virtually. But we create these events to bring people together. And that's what it's about. If you can bring your community, your readers, the people that follow you and buy from you closer to your business, then you have achieved something that everyone is craving right now. And what is that? That's connection. More than anything, we're currently craving connection. So it's great. We have 600,000 followers. Amazing, right? But I'm not after vanity metrics. I don't care about vanity metrics. And I don't care about the stats. What do I care about? Is something a little bit more than that. And it's having a true community and a true connection. All right, so what is the difference between followers and connections? Followers is great. It will help you have the credibility, have the brand awareness, right? You can market to them. You have a great share in the market for your business. Fantastic. You can grow your customer base. These are all the metrics that every business wants. And of course, visibility. But community is something a little bit more than that. It's actually opportunity to foster connections within it. And what happens when you foster connections within your community, the message spreads. Now, we hosted a book launch event very recently, and we had 7 speakers involved in this launch. They told their friends, hey, I'm launching a book. Do you want to come to this virtual? It wasn't even a live event, it was virtual. Come to our book launch event. Well, they told their friends that they're doing this something special, they should come to this event. People that signed up didn't even know what they were signing for, but they told their friends to come along as well. And it was driven by a purpose, because the name of the book was Women Overcoming Adversity. And the people who were attending, they knew they would be inspired by other women who have overcome adversity. So it was for them about experience. And at the end of this event, I said, Ray, that's the first time I come across your event. But it was life-changing, because I had the opportunity to be in a room with other like-minded people. I got to hear their stories. I got to connect. So it wasn't just about a business event or launching my business event. It was something a little bit more. And we made an impact. So what impact are you creating in your business or your organization or the things that you're currently doing? So you can further that mission, and that mission spreads. And then people tell other people, hey, I'm part of this amazing organization. What other professional bodies are you part of? I'm sure many of you are part of different organizations, bodies, but how many of these organizations actually encourage you to share their purpose and their mission? How many times do you go to your colleagues and say, hey, I'm part of this organization. Do you want to come along with me? And the reason you would do that is because their purpose or their mission connects with you on an individual basis on a deeper level. Not just on a surface, not because you're just some kind of business. No, because they have a purpose and you're connected to that on a personal level. Because even if we're dealing business, my business deals business to business. But on a core level of it, it's people that we're talking about today. You're all human beings. You all have families. You have children, right? Friends, communities of your own. So we got to start connection on a human-to-human level. Because that's your customer base, regardless what business you're in, even if your publication is business to business. It's the people that you're wanting to attract. So we share some common beliefs. Maybe our belief system is common that you have in your business. So I want to ask you a question. Is the publishing industry on decline? How many of you today believe that a publishing industry is on decline? No? Okay, very optimistic. I like that. Well, in the last few years, as I was doing research, my publication is relatively new. We've only been around for 2 years, so for us it's something new. And as I was doing a lot of research, I started to see quite a few publications that were actually closing their doors. Earlier this week, I spoke to a friend of mine, and I'm a very positive person, don't get me wrong. But I've spoken to a few people, and they said, well, this publication is closing. So the business is not so easy as it was perhaps a decade ago. There's a lot more competition that we're dealing with. But I like that you're positive, because that means we can connect in this room. So I'm sure many of you have heard of this AI, chat AI, content being created by the machine learning and this whole information going on in the world. So what's happening right now, that there's more and more information, and it's so easily accessible. It's free. For people to access information, all they have to do is type in a few words, and they would get a whole raft of information on Google, on chat AI, right? So there is no value in information. So what you're selling in the publishing industry isn't information, news, but it's so easily accessible. Anybody can do it from anywhere in the world at the tap of their fingers. But what people cannot so easily access today is the connection. So that interaction piece with your publication, the opportunities that you create with your publication for people to create connections. Are you currently creating opportunities for your audience to have that connection within your organization? There's something else, like common beliefs and common causes that brings us together. Belonging. It's not so easy to purchase belonging or tap on your fingers of the internet to feel like I belong. I'm here. I'm part of this cause. I'm part of this mission. So we have a shared vision and a shared mission and a purpose, and this is what you can use to bring people on board. And there's a reason in business that every business school will teach you to start with your mission, to start with your values, to start with your purpose. Why does it even matter? Because that's what brings people together. That's what brings people on board. And if you're wondering why people queue up around the block when there is Apple launch, why? Why there's so many people around the world will go queue up for a day or two for an Apple launch? It doesn't make sense. But there was one guy who had an idea, who was a little bit of a genius, and he drove his business with that mission. And he's quoted over and over again. And that is, of course, Steve Jobs. But I'm not here to give you a business lesson. I'm here to tell you that people are tuning out. And 90% of my community says, when I say, how often do you watch the news? They say, never. How often do you read publications? They say, very rarely. So where do you consume your information? Social media. People don't want to hear it. People are tuning out. And the attention of today's economy is becoming very expensive. And why is it expensive? Because to gain someone's more than 5 seconds of their time, it takes a lot. People scroll. They want quick content. They just want to consume and go. They're not going to sit there for 45 minutes like we are here today to listening to your news. They're tuning out because there's no connection. Information is way too accessible today, and people don't care. And this is what's happening in the world. So we have to start thinking on a different level. How do we make that connection, and how do we appeal to the hearts and the souls of your readers, of your audience, of the people that you want to bring closer to consume your content? What is the reason I would subscribe to your publication today and feel so excited to open that letterbox? A few weeks ago, I had a call with some of our speakers and community members, and I said to them, we're about to go to publishing. The first copy of our magazine is going to be printed whilst I'm in London next week. And you know what? I'm going to put it in a post and I'll send it to you around the world. You should have seen their faces, the way their eyes lit up when I told them they're going to receive a physical copy of our magazine that they've been reading and contributing to. That's the kind of excitement that you want your audience to have, to open your publication and say, I couldn't wait for this. I was waiting for this for weeks. I'm waiting for the next issue to come out. And I feel passionate about sharing it with other people. So that's the kind of connection you want to create between your publication and your audience, that their eyes lit up when you tell them it's just gone out in the post and you'll have it within a few days. You want them to take pictures and share it with their friends and say, hey, that was epic. That was epic. And you should come to that room with me next time. Okay? So don't let them tune out. So why do they stay engaged? And if anybody knows the time, I don't know whether we're still on time here. They believe in your cause of why you even exist. What is your cause? What is the purpose? What is the mission? For me, these words, I use it regularly, and I always say, our purpose, our mission is here to elevate the voices of women. Right? To help them share their message, because for so long nobody cared. And they believe that and they want to be part of it because they have a message, like TEDx says, a message, an idea worth spreading. Why TEDx? This is not even a profit organization, but it's spreading like wildfire. Everybody wants to be on TEDx stage because this idea is worth spreading. They have a purpose. And people want to be part of it. They want to be on that stage because they have an idea and they want to spread it. Why do people want to be part of your publication, whether to be featured or to consume it? Because they believe in something. I remember the first time I come across Success Magazine when I was in the US and I was starting out a business. And I've never come across a publication that was around business, around entrepreneurship that I was believing in. And I remember going to US and I couldn't get a copy of Success Magazine, so I went onto the website and I ordered 20 copies of all their past issues because that's how engaged I was in their content. That's how much I believed in what they were sharing. I was willing to spend maybe $100 and another $30 for all these publications and put it in my suitcase and take it back to London because I needed this information. I believed that this information could change my life. So they want to be part of your mission, and they understand the common purpose, and that is how communities stay engaged. Does anyone in the room recognize this picture at all? How many of you recognize these pictures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Can anybody shout out what this is? Burning Man. Has anybody heard of Burning Man? That it happens in Nevada, right? Every year there is Burning Man event that happens in the United States, and there's thousands of people that fly in every year to be part of it from all around the world. And they might look a little bit crazy running around a field of the desert, but what brings them together is the purpose and the mission of a Burning Man, right? And the experience, the collective experience that we get to have, not in the room, in this case, in the desert. But they plan for the whole year to be part of this event. That's how engaged Burning Man community is. And it's not about making money at all. But it's just being yourself in a desert and exchanging something with each other. There is no money. Nobody can buy anything there. You just bring yourself as you are and things to enjoy your life, right? But thousands of people go there every year. And there's little Burning Man communities all around the world. Again, the people will drive your mission outside of the room where they may have met. And it will help your cause to grow. So what is the identity of your community? What's the identity? Who is the person that you identify, or they can identify with you? Your organization, sorry. As I identify as this person for this organization. What is their identity? And what makes it unique or different? What makes them want to say, hey, I see myself, my identity is this. I see myself as part of it. Right? You're all here today. Something brought you here to this room today. Maybe you identified yourself as a publisher or someone in this, this community, right? So the community creates the magic of togetherness, of coming together and being part of this cause, of this mission. It gives an opportunity for us to have ideas, to share ideas, and this is why at the beginning I said, if you're only wanting to broadcast one way, it's probably not going to work, because you have to be able to invite your community to share their ideas. And why is it so valuable? Because your audience will give you so much valuable information for you to innovate and create even better products, services, content, information. And you empower them. On my social media, on Women Thrive media, on our Facebook page, we have hundreds of comments for most posts that we have. Because we constantly ask questions. We constantly tell them, hey, we want to know, what are you struggling with? What do you need help with? What were the things that you have overcome? How can we be of support? And they give us so much information, so much data to go by and continue innovating. They tell us what they need. So there's value. I'm not just selling a concept here to say to you, it's a nice to have. It's a whole different way of thinking and leading your organization with purpose and bringing people closer to you so they can be part of the driving force to innovation, to growth, to new way of thinking. Because here is the thing, we are moving into a completely new age of new people coming into this world that have completely different views and values. And the minute you are outdated of their values, of what they want to be belonging to, you become irrelevant. Your publications become irrelevant because the new generation can no longer connect with it. And you're not creating a space for this new generation to be part of it. More and more, the new generation wanting to know, what is your values? What do you stand for? Is there a movement? Why should I belong here? Otherwise, they tune out. I don't want to hear. Don't talk to me. Doors are shut. I have a 15-year-old niece. If you don't appeal to her in 15 seconds, she's out the door, and she's like, I've got better things to do. I'm like, okay. The new generation don't care. They don't have time for you. All right? So you got to create an opportunity for them to contribute, to be part of it. Maybe even create a financial contribution. I'm creating a new initiative in my business where small businesses can sponsor small business grants. So my community who want to have exposure through our network, through our platform and our magazine, by sponsoring our ads or marketing space on our platform, they're actually sponsoring somebody else's business grant. So they can further a mission of us supporting small businesses. And for them, it's money well spent. Because they know, and I know, that advertising in a normal sense doesn't really do anything. Right? You may create a little bit of awareness, you may create a couple clicks, but really, there is no satisfaction in sending you, I don't know, $10,000, $15,000 or pounds and just getting an ad in your magazine. I mean, yeah, you have to be a pretty big organization to be able to spend 15, 20, 100 grand on advertising in your publication on a regular basis. But my community want to spend that money, not huge because they're small business owners themselves, but they know that the money that they have and they spend with us is worthwhile because it's going to further a cause of helping other small business owners. So we innovate with our community because we ask them, what do you want? The biggest pain for them is visibility. They want to be visible. But also they are conscious of how they're spending money, right? There's only so many big organizations, corporations that have unlimited marketing budgets to spend with your publication. So how can your community be part of contribution, the financial contribution in your business, whether on an individual basis or on a business basis? But you have to have the two-way communication working constantly and being part of your organization. Do you have surveys? Do you have opportunities for people to fill out something or contribute? There's new things we're doing in our magazine where we create an opportunity for our audience to ask questions or be the ones answering questions. So we ask questions on our Facebook page, and by answering questions and engaging in our posts, they have an opportunity to be featured in our magazine. Why? Because they want to be featured in the magazine and have that exposure. But what it does for us, it creates more engagement. I said, oh my God, I didn't even know you had a magazine. I didn't know how I could get into it. Well, yeah, engage on our post, and one day you're going to be featured in our magazine. Like, wow, okay, let me just make sure I come back to this page and engage all the time now. All right? So they need to be a safe space for them to also do that, right? Not exposed, non-judgmental. How many places are out there on the internet that just create so much judgment, so much aggravation about topics and arguments? Is there a safe space to be? Engagement, in that sense, is not a good engagement. If constantly on your feed you have people arguing over the causes, this is not a community. This is clickbait, right? So you want to create a positive, inspiring, supportive, safe space for real communities to foster and not just have a clickbait. And they need direction. They do need your direction. So they may not share the same values, opinions, or views, but there is something that unites them, even at the times of separation. Just want to know that we're still on time. So I won't bore you any longer because I know I'm running out of time as well here today. But why communities follow, they discuss ideas, they want to further a mission, they create more impact, and have a social cause. Uh, so why have a community? You have loyalty, you have engagement, you have social proof. There is longevity for your business moving forward. If you have a strong community, there is sense of belonging, there's contribution, both-way contribution, and makes you a better leader. By fostering a community driven by purpose and a mission, that makes you a much better leader. So champion this cause in your own organization when you go back. If you're not a business owner, observe your own environment and your own organization. Do we create a space for connection and contribution? And is the communication two-way street or just one-way street? Because a lot of the times I see the publishing industry only want to broadcast one way. Most websites don't have a contact details or information because we don't want to know. Our inboxes are too full from all these inquiries. These are your customers begging to be at your door, but you keep shutting the doors in their faces. And this was generally what happens in the publishing industry. That's why I drive community behind of what I do. We keep the doors open. And our community come to us for help, but they also come for contribution. Because everyone in our community has something important to contribute, and I value that. And they know that our community is driven by that value to involve them in the process. And guess what? Long term, we're going to be a much more successful company, and we will be creating much more impact around the world because we involve people in the process. So keep people at the heart of what you do, and I hope that today's conversation has inspired you to create better organization, better company, better communities, and make huge impact. So build a tribe around what you do, and you'll see longevity and sustainability in everything you're doing, driven by your cause and purpose. And if you wanted to connect with me, here's my information. I hope you can grab a copy of a brand new book that just launched this week and hit bestseller status in 24 hours. So this has been amazing. But it's been wonderful to meet you all, and thank you all so much for your time and attention. I appreciate it.